A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. This is your content warning. We try to keep things PG-13 around here, however, certain among us have a proclivity towards foul language and foul humor, so viewer discretion is advised. This is your only warning. While we're at it, I should probably note that any opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We have been longtime fans and players of the game, and so we have a vested interest in how game mechanics work, and as a hobby in our group, we enjoy yelling at each other over rules interpretations. So everything that we say is all in good fun. With that in mind, however, I will still ask, Wizards, please hire us. Well, with that out of the way, enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to Top Gear.
Oh, that's the bit we're doing this time?
I didn't prepare an accent, it's too early.
I don't know enough about Top Gear.
Episode of Top Gear. Pertuset, I don't know. I was gonna try to find like some through line that we usually always
I got it.
Episode. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, Pertuset metamorphs and is able to move quicker.
Oh, were you just doing one for you?
Yeah, no, you gotta do one.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were gonna have it for like everyone.
No, pick up what I'm putting down.
Levi once again manages to ride the fence.
Well, oh.
I completely forgot what Top Gear is, and I'm just thinking about Jackass.
I was going for like what we were gonna do in the podcast, not like we become like the Psion subclasses.
That's what I was doing. I was doing
Also, I already claimed metamorphs, so screw you.
Well, you should have Top Geared quicker.
Yeah, you should have said it before he did. He said it first.
I said it last episode, so it's like posthumously.
I didn't say said it first. I said Top Gear first.
Did also Top Gear first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
All right. Yeah, so you guys know what we're doing.
Yeah. We're continuing from last episode. If you haven't watched last episode, go watch last episode. It's about the new class in 2024, E.
Yeah.
And now we're going to talk about the subclasses for that class, of which there are 4.
Yeah. For the UA. Let's see if they all make it as is into a book. If any of this makes it, really. So, Jordan, you did express interest in this one, so why don't you take this one first?
Okay, this is the one that I said earlier, if you combine it with Changeling, is just John Carpenter's The Thing, and I'm kind of obsessed with it, but I don't know how it actually plays, so that obsession may very quickly wane. Okay, Metamorph. Physically sculpt life and... Oh, not physically, psychically. That's what this is about. Cyclically sculpt life and flesh. Your mastery of psionic powers turns inward. Your own flesh becomes like clay to you. You mold it to turn it into the perfect vessel of your psionic powers. Experience in manipulating your life energy also enables you to adjust the life force of friends and foes alike. Level 3 Metamorph spells. When you reach a Psion level specified in the Metamorph spells table, you thereafter always have these spells prepared. Level 3 Alter Self, Cure Wounds, Inflict Wounds, Lesser Restoration. Aura of Vitality, Haste at level 5. Level 7 Polymorph and Stone Skin. And then level 9 Contagion and Mass Cure Wounds.
Most interesting there is the fact that this is the only healing spells that this class gets.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of funky.
I really doubt they're going for the healer Psion here, but it may turn into it, which is really funny.
You want me to keep doing level 3 on organic weapons?
No, because that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's why I was asking.
So level 3 is called Organic Weapons. You shape your limbs into weapons. Whenever you take the attack action or make an opportunity attack, you can reform your free hand into one of the following weapons. Bone Blade, Flesh Maul, or Viscera Launcher.
Yeah.
And your limb returns to normal after your organic weapon hits or misses. You use your intelligence modifier for the attack and damage rolls instead of strength or dex, and you can cause the weapon to deal psychic damage or its normal damage type.
How does the
Bone
bone blade deal
blade.
psychic damage? How does...
You get so freaked out by it
I'm
that
assuming it's
I
like
guess.
a fear effect almost.
even though it requires it to make contact with you, which I feel like that inherently shouldn't require
Makes
contact.
contact with your mind.
I mean, I feel
True.
like you would take psychic damage if somebody's arm just like turned into a bone sword and slashed you to ribbons. Like
Well, I think
Yeah,
I
that's
would take
but
physical damage.
the slash
yeah,
you to
but like,
ribbons part means it wouldn't just be psychic.
well, yeah,
That's the problem. But either way, it don't matter too much.
let's do a D4 of psychic, a D4 of piercing.
True. Anyway, um, so bone blade is a blade made of bone springs. Oh, sorry, a blade made of bone springs from your forearm or extends from your hand. I didn't expect the word springs there. I didn't like that one. Blade counts as a simple melee weapon with a finesse property, and it deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit. Piercing? You have advantage on the attack roll you make with the blade if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of the target and the ally doesn't have the incapacitated condition. Oh, it's sneak.
hmm
Flesh Maul. Your fist and forearm coalesce into a hardened mass of flesh and bone. The maul counts as a simple melee weapon, deals 1d10 bludgeoning damage on a hit. Creature hit by the maul has disadvantage on the next strength or constitution saving throw it makes before the start of its next turn. And Viscera Launcher. Your hand and forearm transform into a crossbow made of muscle and sinew that fires bolts of bile. The launcher counts as a simple ranged weapon with a range of 30 feet and a long range of 90 feet, and it deals 1d6 acid damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack roll using the launcher, you can deal an extra 1d6 acid damage to the target.
I like the flavor a lot
Mm.
because it's making me cringe reading all of these
Mhm.
things, and for me, that's like, okay, that means they're writing it at least semi well enough that my brain's like, ew,
yeah.
Mm.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's
All
not too
right,
bad. It's a decent level 3, although we do have another
yeah,
level 3,
one more level 3. They get 3 level 3s.
but don't multi-class.
Yeah,
As a
no.
bonus action, you can expend one. Oh wait, it's called extend limbs. You can expend one psionic energy die. For the next minute, you gain the following benefits. Reach, your reach increases by 5 feet. Speed, your speed increases by 5 feet. Touch, when you cast a spell that has a range of touch and a casting time of an action, you can make the spell's range 10 feet.
Holy broken, we can fix that.
Just a little top off buff, I guess.
The
Equals
touch thing is
mastery.
insane.
Yeah, the touch thing is pretty decent, which also, once again, that really is not helping the healer allegations
Yeah.
Mm.
because you can make cure wounds have a range.
Take the touch aside, you can now that it's at 10 feet, you can use meta magic, get meta magic adept, and take distance spell to make it 20 feet. There
Oh,
may be
true.
That too.
there may be a way to double it again if I'm not mistaken, but there's at least that.
Yeah, that could
Okay.
that could be really good. Yeah, don't multiclass though, guys.
No, don't multi-class.
Mm-mm.
Well, I suppose okay, technically you don't have to multiclass to get meta magic because you can get the feat meta magic
Mm,
adept, but
yeah. Okay. So that's all level 3. Then we get level 6. Jordan?
Level 6. Hey, this is a caster that gets an extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. In addition, you can cast one of your Psion cantrips that has a casting time of an action in place of one of those attacks.
Hmm.
well, I mean, it's an extra attack.
Yeah.
Why
I think
do
it's
they
weird
get
that
an
they
extra
gave
attack? I mean,
yeah, it's why did you give the caster an extra attack?
well, no, I think
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure oh, what do they call him? What do they call him? Bladesinger. I'm pretty sure Bladesinger gets an extra attack for the wizard as well.
Mhm.
Bladesinger
So,
does, and then of course there's the one of the bard colleges also gets it.
yeah, so it's not necessarily out of place. This is something that sometimes subclasses for non-extra attack classes do because the
People love
subclass, yeah,
gishes.
the
Okay, but
class
why does the
plays more into
Scion have more
being,
than one attack, but the Rogue doesn't?
Well, the
well,
rogue doesn't need it because the rogue's too strong. Don't
yeah,
forget
and the
that.
rogue
Oh yeah, I'm
never
sorry,
gets
I
a
forgot we
second
were
attack, I
busted.
think, for any of its subclasses.
No, the rogue never does. That would
Um,
again, it's too strong. Remember that.
You do
but
all of that damage if you hit your sneak attack. You can't chance it.
based
Exactly.
off of the organic weapons thing, they are trying to play this one up to be more of like a melee-ish or at least you're attacking with a weapon, quote unquote,
It's a
more often than
Gish.
not.
This is
Yeah.
the Scion's Gish.
So it makes I think it makes sense that they're giving it the extra attack here.
Okay. Next up, level 6, Quickened Healing. When you cast Cure Wounds, you can spend 2 Psionic Energy dice to change the casting time to a bonus action for this casting. When you do, you can roll 1 Psionic Energy die and add the number rolled to the total amount of hit points restored.
Wow.
We're getting a little muddled with our subclass identity, but sure.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's a pretty decent buff to that though.
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean that means you can heal and fight all in the same turn.
It's true. It's okay. It's just Cure Wounds.
Yeah, but it's not nothing.
No, but I'm glad that it's not like anytime you cast any spell that has healing, you can add with your
Oh,
Psionic Energy dice.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that
limiting
would
it
be
to
pretty
one.
that would be a little strong.
Exactly.
But at level 10, they get mutable form as opposed to immutable form. When you use extend limbs, the duration increases to 10 minutes, and you gain one of the following benefits of your choice, the effects of which last until extend limbs ends. Remember, this is that one earlier that I read where it's just like your range increases by 5 feet, your speed increases by 5 feet, and your touch spells get a range of 10 feet. Stony epidermis. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. Pretty good. In addition, choose one of the following damage types: acid, bludgeoning, cold, fire, lightning, piercing, poison, slashing, or thunder. You gain resistance to the chosen damage type. Okay. Next one is Superior Stride. While you aren't wearing armor, you can take the dash action as a bonus action and have a climb speed and a swim speed equal to your speed. All right. Unnatural Flexibility. You gain a +2 bonus to AC, and your body, along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying, becomes pliable. Pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as 1 inch, and you can spend 5 feet of movement to escape from non-magical restraints or end the grappled condition.
That's funny.
I like these. These seem pretty practical.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all pretty decent and have a wide enough application that they won't be like a one-off thing that you won't use more than once.
Mhm.
I will say, especially with Stony Epidermis, thank you for not having it just be you're resistant to like 1 to 3. I mean, you pick one, but like, thank you for actually giving a wide selection of damages to pick
Yeah,
from for
instead of just
once.
like you have two choices and neither of them
Yes,
are good.
because that helps it be much more useful.
My thing is, at least it's not only you have advantage on con saves against
Yeah,
concentration. That would have been terrible. That would have never
yeah.
been used by anyone ever.
Nope.
But yeah.
Unless you wanted to like do conjuration or something.
Oh man, I
But
really
no
hope
multi-classing.
now I have advantage on my con saving throw. Wait, they hit me for 40. The DC's 20.
Uh, we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll wait.
Can we go to Psywarper now?
Nope.
No.
We still got one more feature. Level 14, Life Bending Weapons. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with your organic weapon, you can expend 1 psionic energy die and roll it. Each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation originating from you regains hit points equal to the number rolled plus your intelligence modifier. Don't know why that was so hard for me to read. Additionally, one creature of your choice in that area takes necrotic damage equal to your number rolled.
Hmm.
It's weird. I I kind of get what they're going for, but I don't think that I think out of all of the like you're a bio weapon type things, this one probably falls the most flat,
Yeah,
flavor
I
wise.
don't understand what it has to do. Like, I know that it says it ties into the organic weapons, but I don't understand
It's hard to envision what
what
you're
it
actually
has to do
doing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem I'm having with it. Is it like you're attacking someone and then in that attack like you have a tendril that goes over and heals your friends or something or like
No, your arm explodes, and when the meat flies everywhere, everyone that's touched by the meat is healed.
Except for
except
one
for
person,
one
which is
Except for
person.
one
damaged.
person.
But you
But you
choose.
Which
choose.
one? Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very controlled meat
Yeah,
explosion.
it's very difficult to envision what's actually occurring for
Yeah,
this
it's
to
a little
happen. I
hard.
get it mechanically why they're having it happen, but it's not translating. It's not.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, this isn't bad, honestly. This isn't that bad. Its biggest problem is that it is not conducive to the base class.
Mm,
There is a lot of stuff here that's interesting, but does not require you to be a Scion.
yeah.
That's interesting. That means you hate it, right?
Yes. No. My biggest problem is because there's half of it is for attacking, half of it is for healing. They need to pick a lane, and they need to
Hmm.
double down on one of them. It's either they don't do healing, or the only form of healing is that they get cure wounds in their spell list, and that's it. Or it's got to
That's
be all healing.
I don't really understand the healing angle for this one because like I feel like it
I
should be more based on kind of destruction and viscera. Like
I
I
think
feel
the
like it
idea is
leans
supposed
further
to be
flavor
that
wise.
like they're a scion who's like heavily in control of their like biology, so it's like they can like do regenerative stuff as well as stab you with their bone arm.
They can read your life force
I
and
But
think
how does
that's
that
what
boost
they're
it.
expand to
trying to
other
do.
people? Is like even if they did like a kind of like a self-healing thing, like almost a paladin lay on hands pool, but just for you, I don't know.
It's the force.
You
Ray
know, I
showed
think
us.
Yeah.
they see, I really liked early on when we were doing the organic weapons and the extended limbs. I think they should have just I think Pertuset's right, and I think they should have just doubled down on the
Gone
damage
harder
side
on
of it rather
those.
than the healing side of it, and just
Yeah,
I agree.
had it be more bone blades and
The
flesh
healing feels
maws,
kind of slapdash.
maws.
indeed.
Other than
Maybe
that, I feel like it has
scale.
potential though.
Yeah, I think the best thing they could do is honestly let the weapons scale.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
know some people aren't going to be too happy about that because it can be too strong, but
Well, but if that's your thing and you're already giving them an extra,
Maybe.
like,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Maybe to have it like tie in to the class, they could have done a thing where it's like every time you do the weapon, you could expend a spell slot to up its damage by like however by whatever level the spell slot is. So then
I'll do
because
it
you
like
have all
paladin's
those spell
mites.
slots over there that it doesn't seem like really plays into this subclass very much because this very much seems like a non-caster subclass for a
Hmm.
1 to ninth level caster.
Yeah,
Um, do something with the spell slots. Get them in here somehow to help this.
yeah. All right. All in all, though, not bad. People will have fun with it. That's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, people will
Mm-hmm.
have fun with it. It's
I
just,
think it's gross and weird, and I really like the flavor aspect of
mm,
it.
it
Yep.
just needs tightened a little bit.
Mm.
Hmm.
All right. Next up, Psy Warper. Levi, you seemed
Swarper.
like you had a lot to go with this one.
I
Seemed
was
like you were
just it
very
was
passionate about
yeah,
this one.
okay. Warp space with the power of your mind. Psi warpers tune their psionic powers to manipulating the space between objects, capable of teleporting across the battlefield and creating vacuums in space. A psi warper is never in one place for too long.
Zahando!
True, true. At level 3, the Psi Warper gets spells. When you reach a Scion level specified in the Psi Warper spells table, you thereafter always have the listed spells prepared. So at level 3, they get Expeditious Retreat, Featherfall, Misty Step, Shatter. At level 5, they get Blink and Haste. At level 7, they get Banishment and Dimension Door. And at level 9, they get Steel Wind, Strike, and Teleportation Circle. A lot of movement. A
Yeah.
lot of movement. And moving other things. Do you want me to keep going? Because that one was kind of short.
Yeah.
Okay. At level 3, you get Teleportation. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot and must finish a long rest before you can cast it in this way again. So 1 free Misty Step. You can also restore your use of it by expending one of your psionic energy dice. So there you go. A free Misty Step that you can replenish with your class dice. Um, I'm gonna keep going again because that one was also kind of short.
Yeah.
At level 3 again, you also get Warp Propel. When a target fails its saving throw against your telekinetic propel, instead of pushing it, you can teleport the target to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of you that is horizontal to you. That's interesting.
I guess they're trying to make it so that you can't like it's within 30 feet of me straight up. I think it's so that they're leveling they're
Is
walking
that
down
what
your
that?
X and
Okay,
Y
no, that
axis is
yeah,
kind of what it sounds
horizontal
like.
of you. Okay, yeah, I could see that being what that meant. I wasn't entirely sure what horizontal of you
The
meant.
wording is where you would think just like on the next level spot you can see. I don't know.
On the
I
ground.
kind of understand what they're going for, but it was worded very strangely.
On the same plane as you? Well, no, because if you're flying, then.
On the same axis as you. No,
But yeah,
There
no,
you go.
I
Like that
understand it.
actually
I
works.
understand. I understand the idea behind it. It's just worded very poorly.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, that's funny.
that's the level 3s.
All right, Jordan.
Level 6, Warp Space. When you cast Shatter, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that the radius of the spell's sphere becomes 20 feet. In addition, creatures that fail the saving throw against the spell are pulled straight towards I gotta scroll, center of the sphere, ending in an unoccupied space as close to the center of the sphere as possible. Oh, so it like explodes and then sucks everything
Yeah,
in.
it's
It's
an
the
implosion.
gravity magic from Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was about to say
Mhm.
this seems very similar to Matt Mercer's Graviturgy Mage.
And then do you want me to read the other level 6 since that one was shorter?
Yeah.
Okay. Level 6, Teleporter Combat. Immediately after you cast Misty Step, you can cast one of your Scion cantrips that has a casting time of an action as part of the bonus action.
Oh, that's pretty interesting, actually.
Part of the
Interesting.
bonus action. Yeah, that's pretty decent.
All right. Level 10, Duplicitous Target. When a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die and choose a willing creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself that doesn't have the incapacitated condition. You and the willing creature teleport, swapping places with each other. The creature then becomes the target of the attack roll. A willing creature, so it's got to be a buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang. I would have liked to have made them hit their friends. I
I
wish they would have put a thing in there for you if you can make it be like their ally, but they have to make a saving throw. That would have been fun.
That would have been fun. I can also see the use for this because if you like are looking at the fighter or the paladin or the barbarian across the field and you're like, oh no, I don't have resistance to this damage. You might have resistance to this damage.
Yeah.
True. This is not a bad feature by any stretch. I just wish they would have given me the opportunity
Yeah.
to let them
Pertuset
hit their
just wants
friend.
to hurt people.
I want people to hurt their friends. That's what I want.
It's always funny.
It is. And then I will also read the next one. Level 14, Mass Teleportation. As a magic action, you expend 4 psionic energy dice and choose huge or smaller creatures
Wow.
within 30 feet of yourself, up to a number of creatures equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1. Each of the chosen creatures is teleported to a non-occupied space you can see within 150 feet of you. An unwilling creature that succeeds on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC is unaffected.
Wow.
Eh. It's alright.
I think that this one to me seems like the equivalent of like Oath of Devotion Paladin or like Thief Rogue. Like this seems like the John Scion subclass to me because I think it seems like it plays very well into what we were talking about with the base class, which is like it's a control mage.
Yeah. Yeah, I
This
can see that.
one gives it a lot of movement and it lets you move other people and it lets you swap places with people. And it just seems like it's kind of just like a little bit extra on top of what the base class already was to make it better.
And
It's
I
very
feel like
simple.
we were questioning last episode what the fantasy is and what the class identity is. I think this makes it a little clearer.
Maybe. I don't think we've hit John Scion yet. I'm pretty sure the very
Really?
next one
I think
is
the
John
next one's probably
Scion.
going to be
Oh,
This
true,
is Jim
true.
Scion.
Yeah, this is his cousin.
This is control mage. That's what this is. This
Yeah.
is if you're playing the game to be like, I want to control the battlefield and be the strategist that leads my team to victory, that you want to do Psy Warper if you're going to be a Scion.
Here's my thing with this. It's fun, it's fine. If you're gonna play this, do not expect to have the game-saving play.
Yeah.
Do
no.
not expect to deal 500 damage. Do not expect to hit that awesome fireball. Do not expect to revive everybody on your team.
You're not goop.
Yeah,
Your
Your
movement.
movement.
exactly. You are the one that is keeping everyone together, and you're like doing strategic stuff, but it is going to be the most thankless job you'll have ever done in your
Yeah,
Mhm.
life.
true. So true.
People are gonna be
You're
like, "What
not
do you
rolling
even
dice.
do?
Yeah, you're not rolling dice for damage, so people are gonna be like, "What's your
What's
deal?
your
You
What do
don't
point?
we?"
heal, you don't deal damage.
Yeah.
You're just kind of moving around."
But you did just switch places and move the paladin on top of the bad guy. So,
But the
But he
paladin
doesn't
didn't
do
want to be
anything.
but
there.
the
Yeah,
paladin
the
did not
paladin
want to
didn't
be
want to
there
do
yet.
it.
So enjoy
And the
that.
paladin is fine with it because they got the final hit and killed the thing,
I
and then
only said
suddenly
my
it was their
character was
idea.
willing because my character would have been willing, but I, the player, did not want to do that.
This is bad
Exactly.
player agency.
Exactly. Oh, okay. I guess I'll take the next one, even though I wanted to do the last one.
You can do the last one.
Oh, it's fine.
We can switch if you want.
No.
I mean, you can like still do the last one. You could
Yeah,
just
if
do
you want
both.
to
Listen,
We're
just
not.
double,
We're
listen.
yeah.
The
okay with
Psy
that.
Warper used their reaction to switch me in front of this one, so I have to do this one now.
You can do
All
the
right.
other one too. We'll let you do
Psykinetic.
both.
Mold psionic force for creation and destruction. A psykinetic controls their psionic powers like a malleable force. They bend their telekinetic energies into sturdy barriers and strike with the force of a battering ram. Ooh. Level 3 psykinetic spells. You get it at this point. You get Cloud of Daggers, Levitate, Shield, Thunderwave at 3. Slow Telekinetic Crush, which is a new one from this UA, at level 5. Auto Luke's Resilient Sphere and Stone Shape at 7. Telekinesis and Wall of Force at 9. And then also,
I'm gonna go look at telekinetic crush real quick and see what that does.
okay. Level 3, telekinetic techniques. You can use your telekinetic propel. Or when you use your telekinetic propel, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. Boost! The target's speed increases by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Disorient. The target can't make opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn. Telekinetic bolt. If the target fails a saving throw, it takes force damage equal to the number rolled on the psionic energy die. Certainly not bad.
I can't find it. I
You
thought
can't
it was
find
gonna
it.
be where all the spells are, but it's just the name of the spell and then what school they're in.
Oh,
Oh.
that's so
It
helpful.
doesn't say what they do.
It's level 5, same with slow, so I imagine it's just a type of damaging spell, maybe with like an effect of like slowing or I don't know, becoming prone, something like that.
All right. Well, let me get back down there. I'm coming. Where is it?
Yeah, you're up next.
Oh, they're at the very bottom. I found them. They're at the very
Oh,
bottom.
yeah.
Telekinetic crush. You create a field of crushing telekinetic force. Wow. In a 30-foot cube within range. Each creature in the area makes a strength saving throw. On a failed save, a target takes 5d6 force damage and has the prone condition. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage, and it is a third level spell.
I wasn't wrong. It's good damage though. More damage
Yeah.
than I would have thought.
And I do like it being a strength save because that's a little bit of a rare save.
Hmm. Too many deck saves.
Yeah.
Me when I bounce out of the gravity field.
Gravity.
Gravity.
Libbity bibbity.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Okay, where did you end? Did you do telekinetic techniques?
Yeah, so you gotta do empowered
Level
attack
6.
mode.
Empowered attack mode. Well, your attack mode is that. Oh, I forgot. I forgot that that's like a thing from the base class.
Yeah.
They have their attack mode. When your attack mode is active, you gain a fly speed of 60 feet and can hover. And when you cast a Psion spell, you can add your intelligence modifier to one damage roll of that spell. Okay. A fly speed of 60 feet is really nice.
That's not bad, yeah.
And can hover.
Yeah.
You don't have to end your turn on the ground,
No.
but only when you're in attack mode.
Only when you're in attack mode. I need to go see what that even entails again.
Eliminated.
Uh,
Okay.
as a bonus action. Oh, that's right. It's like the Scion Rage. That's what we were talking about. It lasts for a
Yep.
minute, and you choose when you do it attack mode or defense mode.
Mm-hmm.
Such a bad name.
All right, do the next one.
Okay. There's also Rebounding Field at level 6. When you cast Shield in response to being hit by an attack roll and cause the triggering attack to miss, you can expend one psionic energy die to launch the force back at the attacker. The attacker makes a dexterity saving throw. Roll 2 psionic energy dice. On a failed save, the attacker takes force damage equal to the amount rolled, and you gain temporary hit points equal to that amount. On a successful save, the attacker takes half damage. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
This is about what I expect. This is feeling like John Scion. All right, Jordan.
All right, level 10. Enhanced telekinetic crush. So inventive. When you cast telekinetic crush, crush, you can expend 1 psionic energy die to modify the spell so that whether a creature fails or succeeds on the saving throw against the spell, its speed is halved until the start of your next turn.
Wow, that's kind of devastating.
That
Was
is
that
pretty good.
was telekinetic crush? Was it concentration or was it instantaneous?
I believe it was instantaneous. Let me go back down and look again. Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
instantaneous.
Okay. Well, either way,
Um,
it's fine.
for some reason, the fact that they just keep going on telekinetic crush is making me think of it's my hole. It was made for me, but it's my spell. It was made for me.
It was. Me become a bard, take telekinetic crush. I mean that's not bad. It's fine. It is funny that you could, if someone fails it, they would become prone, and then you can also have their speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so you can only get up that round.
Yeah.
well, no, you could get because it just takes half of the movement you have. So really, you're just taking away 3/4 of their movement.
Yeah.
Devastating. Oh. All right, Jordan, finish it out.
Level 14, heightened telekinesis. When you cast telekinesis, you can expend 4 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so that it doesn't require concentration.
Holy
If you
moly.
do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute after that casting, and you can target gargantuan creatures
Holy
and
moly.
objects.
Wow.
Yay.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
That's good. That's good.
The making it non-concentration is awesome. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
wish there were more things for like other classes that did that.
That's a great capstone. A lot of it
Yeah.
so far has been like, okay, that's fine. But that's like, oh my
No, that's
gosh.
cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
And then just tacking on also the you could move gargantuan. That's just cool
Mhm.
to like put on there. Like
Yeah.
also you can just move really big things if you want.
Yeah. All right, everybody, now's your chance. Come play 11 from Stranger Thingers.
I scream loudly and move the Tarask with my mind.
Yes. But now you can, actually.
Now you can. You just got to get to level 14 in
Yeah.
Scion.
Mhm.
I don't really have many notes. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no. I will rescind my judgment about Psywarper. This is definitely John Scion.
Yeah. A lot of it is based on like different spells, but I think that makes sense because you are a full caster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's got its psionic energy dice used to, and even the attack mode. This is the first
The attack
subclass to
mode.
use the attack mode,
True.
which somehow the Bone Blade one didn't.
Yeah.
True. What the heck?
Oddly enough.
Okay.
Nothing else has even used defense mode either. Nothing's
No.
used any of the other modes.
All right. Let's finish this out with the last subclass, Telepath. I'm gonna do it. Now, if we remember right from last time, we did learn that this is kind of useless because one of the things the base class could do was have telepathy all the time, or not all the time, but like it was a very cheap cost to have it out to a large range.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is gonna be, if it's not extremely similar to Aberrant Mind, I'm gonna be surprised.
Let's see just what it does. Okay. So telepath, master tactics in the landscape of the mind. Ooh. Telepaths are masters of mind magic. They use their psionic powers for all matters of the mind. Do they get paid every time they use the word mind? Whether they bolster the mental defenses of allies or probe the thoughts of others undetected, a telepath can be a bastion of psionic aid or a crafty manipulator. Level 3. Telepath spells when you reach a... Well, you already know at this point. We got Bane, Command, Detect Thoughts, Mind Spike at 3. Counterspell, Speak with Plants at 5. Compulsion, Confusion at 7. Awaken, Modify Memory at 9.
Okay.
Modify memory is cool.
Yeah, see, it's alright. Alright, I'm done. Someone else go.
Oh, you're done. Okay. Okay. uh, where? Okay, there it is. I was the layout was confusing me. Okay, level 3, Mind Infiltrator. When you cast Detect Thoughts, you can expend 2 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so that it doesn't require spell components or concentration. And the target does not know that you're probing its mind if it fails the wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, that's good.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
I'll do another one. Also at level 3, Telepathic Hub. You have telepathy with a range of 10 feet when you expend a psionic energy die as part of using your telepathic connection to increase the range of your telepathy. I read that wrong. When you expend a psionic energy die as part of using telepathic connection to increase the range of your telepathy for the duration of the effect, you can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to 1 plus the number rolled on the psionic energy die.
Yep.
I read the next one. It
Oh my
did
God,
it.
they finally did it.
It did.
What'd they do?
Level 6, empowered defense mode.
Yeah.
Why do you get it? Telepath?
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. While your defense mode is active, whenever you make a saving throw, you add 1d4 to the save. In addition, while your defense mode is active, you can extend its benefit to creatures you are telepathically connected with using your telepathic connection.
Oh,
It's not great.
Yeah,
that's not bad though.
It's not bad. A D4 can literally be the difference between saving and not. But I personally think it would make more sense if they had it be like whatever your psionic die is.
That would be too much. That'd be way too much.
Yeah, it might be strong, but like I feel like it needs some scaling.
mhm.
I don't know. I mean, like the best you could do is like proficiency bonus, and then it'll be flat. It'll be static. It'll be somewhere between +2 to +6. But you can't do the psionic energy dice because that can be up to a
It'll be
D12.
12,
That could be
yeah.
12 on the saving throw. Um, Plus it's fine. It's a free little thing because if you don't boost your telepathy range, it'll only affect people within 10 feet of you. If you do, it has the potential to affect you and 7 other creatures.
That's
At
true.
which point, it's about as good as the Paladin aura at a high level.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of the par. That's what it's on par with as a Paladin aura.
You ready for the other level 6?
Yes.
Potent Thoughts. You add your intelligence modifier to the damage you deal with any Scion cantrip.
Awesome.
That's
Yay.
not bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's damage.
Yeah. Okay, I'll finish it out. Level 10, telepathic bolstering. You have telepathy out to 30 feet. It literally is the Paladin
Yep.
aura.
Yep.
When you or a creature you can see within range of your telepathy fails an ability check or misses with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to expend 1 psionic energy die, roll the die, and add the number roll to the d20, potentially turning a failed check into a success or a miss into a hit. Psionic energy die is expended only if the check succeeds or the attack hits. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Because that will be with a range of 30, that will assumedly be used all the time. That is just a
Yeah.
better bardic inspiration.
Yes.
That is an exclusively better one.
Take
And it's
that,
a
bards.
reaction. You don't have to give it to them beforehand.
Yep. Okay. Finishing it out, level 14, Scramble Minds. When you cast Confusion, you can expend 4 psionic energy dice to modify the spell so that the radius of the spell sphere becomes 30 feet. In addition, creatures under the effect of the spell roll 2d10s, and you choose which roll determines their behavior on their turns.
That's funny. I
That's
like
it.
that.
That's kind of fun.
I like that. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's kind of akin to the Psy Warper, but not quite as bad. Like, this isn't a thankless one. DMs are gonna hate you though.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you're gonna every time someone goes like, "Oh, that's a 2," and you go like, "Wait, add +12." The
Yep.
DM's gonna be like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not bad.
There are a couple other things which are new, which are down here. Like there's a stat block as well as a spell or two. Although I think the only spell that's actually new, it was Telekinetic Crush, I think.
Summon Astral Entity is also new.
Ah, okay, we can read that one then too. And then there are some feats as well that they added, which
Feat.
one of them is killing me because of what it's called. But first, let's go through the stuff that's here. Unless we have any more comments about the subclasses.
Not particularly. I still think that the first one, what was it called again? The Metamorpher or
Hmm.
Mhm.
whatever. It's the odd one out. It needs
Yeah,
fixed up a
it,
little bit.
it it needs the most work out of all
It's
of them,
so
I think.
gross. I like it.
All right, well, summon astral entity. We're on to spells now. So summon astral entity. It's a level 3 conjuration spell that scions, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards can get. It has a casting time of an action. It has a range of 90 feet. It requires verbal, somatic, and material components, with the material components being cost. So a gem or crystal worth 300 plus gold.
But
And the
it's not
duration,
consumed.
it's not consumed. And the duration is concentration up to 1 hour. So you call forth the spirit of a psionic, I almost said psychic, psionic entity. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range and uses the psionic spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose crystal entity, ectoplasmic entity, or ghostly entity.
Hold
The
on. What
yeah,
do you mean ectoplasmic or ghostly?
the creature resembles an astral entity of that kind, which determines certain details in the stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. The creature is an ally to you and your allies. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, no action required. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action and uses its movement to avoid danger. Use the spell slots level for the spells level in the stat block for casting at a higher level. So on the stat block. Where's the stat block at? I just saw it. There it is. If you upcast it, it gives it more HP. And I think probably yeah, and more damage
And
based
more
on the spell's
AC.
level. And more AC. Yeah. So that's the reason to upcast it. But yeah, it so those three forms that it has, the crystal entity, the ectoplasmic entity, and the ghostly entity, give it different actions that it can take. So just going down here to the stat block, it has multi-attack equal to the number of the spell's level halved, rounded down. The crystal entity has a crystal strike, which is a melee attack roll that does piercing damage, 1d10 plus 3 plus the spell's level. The ectoplasmic entity has the ectoplasmic splash, which is a ranged attack, 30-foot range, 1d6 plus 3 plus the spell's level of psychic damage. And on a hit or miss, each creature in a 5-foot emanation originating from and including the target has its speed reduced by 5 feet until the end of its next turn. And finally, the ghostly entity has the ephemeral ray, which is a ranged attack roll, 120-foot range, and it does 1d8 plus 3 plus the spell's level of psychic damage.
Also a reaction.
Oh, only the crystal entity gets the reaction, which is Shard Swarm. If the spirit is hit by a melee attack roll, they have the damage rounded down it takes from the attack, and then it can teleport to an unoccupied space it can see within 30 feet of itself. So yeah, there's one for melee, there's one for like range, just straight up damage, and there's one for range, but it's like crowd control range.
No, they gotta change that.
Yeah,
Ectoplasmic and ghostly are not those
not
should
very good.
not that should not be two separate entities. They need to
No, they're
fix
not
the
very good.
ectoplasmic one.
Yeah,
That's
no,
really
it's not.
stupid.
It's not great. It's
It's
not
pretty
great.
bad. That's oh well. But you know what? It's redeemed for me solely and exclusively because the crystal one, all I can envision in my head is a Crystallion from
The
Elden
crystal
Ring.
one's pretty all right. Also, I didn't read this. Sorry. There's something that also the ectoplasmic and ghostly get that the crystal doesn't get, which is a trait. Incorporeal passage. They can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. If they end their turn, they're going to take a d10 of force damage for every 5 feet traveled.
True. There is another thing the crystals get that the others don't, and that's that it gets a plus to its AC.
Ah. So yeah, pretty much you're probably going to use the crystal entity. Although the ghostly entity gets a fly speed.
The ghost is gonna do more damage if you let it snipe. The
True.
crystal is gonna be a good damage sponge.
Yeah.
The ectoplasm shouldn't be there, or it
Yeah,
should be
the
replaced and fixed.
ectoplasmic should probably be merged with either the crystal or the ghost. Probably the ghost that would make more sense,
Yeah,
flavor
flavor-wise, that
wise.
tracks.
I think they should just get rid of the ectoplasmic and come up with something new. They
Hmm.
gotta have something better they can do.
Hmm. But yeah, I think this is pretty decent. What's the level? It's a level 3 spell.
Mhm. I mean, it's
It's
okay.
all right.
It's
Yeah,
on par with any other summoning spell that's out there.
yeah. All
Just
right.
now it's Psion flavored.
Yeah. Well, there's that. What
Okay,
about
what
the
are these?
feats?
I was gonna say, what are these feats you want us to look at?
Yeah, these feats are in the wild talent category. Don't know what that means. 10 new
No clue.
feats though.
Oh,
I did the spells, so like someone else has to start this one.
okay.
Flesh morpher? What the heck? Sorry.
All of
Continue.
these. Okay, all but a few are something kinesis.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
feel like that's generally the vibe. So first is Atmokinesis, Lightning Jolt. Once per turn, when you cast a spell or hit with an attack roll, you and deal bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, or psychic damage, you can change the damage type to lightning. Awesome. You also know the shocking grasp cantrip. You also always have the fog cloud spell prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot and regain the ability to cast it when you finish a long rest. You can also cast it using any spell slots you have of the appropriate level. And when you cast these spells, they require no verbal or material components. And intelligence, wisdom, or charisma is your spellcasting ability for them. When you reach character level 3, you always have the Gust of Wind spell prepared and can cast it the same way. I feel like we're going to get a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of the same.
It's wind and lightning magic, but as a feat.
Okay, Biokinesis. Bend life energy. When a spell you cast restores hit points to a creature, you can roll 1d4 and add the number rolled to the total hit points restored. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Sonic Talent. When you know this Fire the Dying cantrip, you can always have the healing word spell prepared. Yada yada yada. Um, and when you reach level 3, you also get Arcane Vigor the same way.
Yeah.
Would you like me to? I
Clairsentience.
was gonna say, do you want me to read the
I'm
next
on a
one? I
roll.
will.
I'm
Okay.
going.
Never mind.
I will give you one after I've read 4 of them, and this is my
Okay.
third. Clairsentience. Minor foreknowledge. That sounds awful. I don't like the name of that feature. Something about that offends me. When you take the search action, you can give yourself advantage on any ability check made as part of that action. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended use when you finish a long rest. You know the guidance cantrip. You always have the detect evil and good spell prepared. When you reach level 3, wait. Oh, it's up here. When you reach level 3, you also see invisibility prepared. Cast the same way. That one's probably the worst so far by a good stretch. Even though I don't like it, doesn't have anything to do with me not liking minor foreknowledge. Okay, next. This is my last one, Jordan.
Okay.
Cryokinesis. Ice manipulation. Once per turn, when you cast a spell or hit with an attack roll that deals bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, or psychic, you can change the damage type to cold. Wow! You know the Ray of Frost cantrip. You always know the Armor of Agathis and Ice Knife spells. Why you get 2? Oh, because they don't have the level 3 thing. Okay.
This is the one that made me laugh.
Oh, empath.
Yeah.
You gain the following benefits. Emotional sense. When you take the influence action, you can give yourself advantage on any ability check made as part of that action. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all extended uses when you finish a long rest. Psionic Talent. You always have the Charm Person spell prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot. You regain the ability to cast it this way when you finish a long rest. You can also cast it using any spell slot. Yeah, we know. When you cast the spell, it requires no verbal components. Intelligence, wisdom, charisma is your spell casting ability for the spell. Choose when you select feat. When you reach character level 3, you also have Calm Emotions spell prepared and can cast the same way.
It just kills me that all the other ones are atmokinesis, biokinesis, clairsentience, cryokinesis, and then empath.
Empath.
Like,
Yeah.
It's fine, guys. No, I'm an empath. I see.
The only thing the empath is sensing from me is my minor foreknowledge.
yeah. There's more though. We're not done. We're not.
Flesh morpher. I'll also read this one and then leave. I can get a couple of them. You gain the following benefits. Flexible flesh. Not when you make a dexterity, acrobatics, or sleight of hand check, you gain a bonus equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Long rest, yeah, we know. Psionic Talent, you always have Long Strider prepared. You can cast once without a spell slot, blah, blah, blah. When you cast this spell, it requires no verbal components. You pick intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. At level 3, you always have alter self prepared and can cast it the same way.
I do have a question. I don't know if either of you are going to be able to answer this. What's the wild talent thing? What's the wild talent feed? Is
I
that
don't
I
something
don't
from
know.
this, or is it a 2024 thing?
It's got to
I
be a
have no
2024
idea.
thing. I know at the top
Okay.
of those it says the prerequisite is that you can't have any
Yeah.
Another
others.
one.
I was gonna mention that. With the you can only get one of these because once you have one, you can't take any others because the prerequisite for all of these is you can't have another wild talent feat, and these are all
Is
wild talent
there
feats.
is there flavor text that we
Oh
skipped
no, this is brand
somewhere, or is
new.
it
Is
like I
it?
don't know what it is.
Where is it?
I don't think it's in here. Maybe it's
Is it
the
in the?
very,
Is it
very
in a?
top.
Is it in an earlier?
No, this is new. Oh, here they are. Here it is.
What page?
It's at the very top. Wild talents also included are a collection of feats that provide characters with a way to tap into psionic powers. Backgrounds representing their connection to wild talents will be included with these feats in a future book if they become official. But in the meantime, a character who takes the noble or sage background can choose a wild talent feat in place of that background's origin feat.
Oh,
You can also get them when you normally choose a feat as a
yeah,
I
class.
also forgot that part of their new character creation is that there's like base feats now.
yeah.
Yeah, part of your background.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Mind
all it is.
Whisperer.
Yeah, Mind Whisperer.
Limited telepathy. As a magic action, choose one creature you can see within 120 feet of yourself. You form a telepathic connection to that creature for 1 hour, and you and the chosen creature can communicate telepathically with each other within 120 feet of each other. To understand each other, you must mentally use a language the other knows. So it's not like sending. Once you use this benefit, long rest. Psionic talent, you know the Mind Sliver cantrip. You also have Dissonant Whispers prepared. Cast it once without a spell slot, blah, blah, blah. And they don't have another level 3 thing.
Sad.
Okay. Then we've also got Psy Trickster, with gives you cunning mind. When you make a charisma, deception, or persuasion check, you gain a bonus equal to your intelligence modifier with a minimum of +1. You can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Regain all extended uses when you finish a long rest. You also get Psionic Talent, which gives you minor illusion cantrip. You also know Disguise Self. You can cast it once without a spell slot. Yada yada yada. Nothing at level 3. Then we've got Psykineticist,
Yeah.
which gives you Psi Boost. When you take the dash action, you increase your speed by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. And it gives you Psionic Talent. Well, they all give you Psionic Talent, but its Psionic Talent is you get Telekinetic Fling. You also always have Thunder Wave prepared. You can cast them once without a spell slot, and then you regain all uses on a long rest, yada, yada, yada. And then finally, last one, Pyrokinesis. They saved one Kinesis for the end.
Mm-hmm.
You get Fire Starter, which is once per turn when you cast a spell or hit with an attack roll and deal bludgeoning, slashing, or psychic damage. You can make it fire damage. And as your psionic talent, you know the Produce Flames cantrip, and you also have the Burning Hands spell prepared. Long rest, you can cast it once. Blah, blah, blah. When you reach character level 3, you also have the Scorching Ray spell. Always prepared and can cast it in the same way.
That one's not so bad.
So basically, all of these are just feats that give you some extra spell options and a little bit of bonuses to them based off of your intelligence modifier.
Or Wisdom or Charisma.
Or Wisdom or Charisma, but I don't know why you would do that since the
I don't know.
spellcasting thing for this class is intelligence. But
I don't know.
I mean, I suppose you could. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you
I
could
might
take
take
those
one.
as not a scion. But
I don't think I would, but I
Yeah, no.
might. Actually, you know what? Mind Whisperer would be huge if you're not a casting class.
yeah,
Yeah.
some of them could work if you're creative with them.
Limited telepathy as a rogue would go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, now that we're done with all the subclasses, I mean, I know we mentioned it a little bit already, but how are we feeling?
It's okay.
What's our final thoughts?
I think it shows some promise.
It needs some love around the edges,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise, I think it's good to go.
I thought it was pretty decent. I overall whole thing, I give it like I'd say like an 8 out of 10. I agree it definitely needs some polishing. I think out of the subclasses, the one that's holding it down the most, unfortunately for Jordan, is the flesh morpher or whatever it's called, the metamorph.
Mm-hmm.
That one needs the most love to make it better. But the others, I think, all that's the thing is out of them, the Flesh Morpher is the one that has the most walls of text, or it's Metamorph. It has the most text to it. The other ones are all kind of simple.
They're pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
they're very
yeah.
simple.
All of their features are like a sentence or two long. And it's very obvious like what their intended purpose is, like what niche they're going to fill. Which makes for a good subclass because it helps you, the player, direct yourself to be like, okay, this is what I gotta do. So yeah, no, I thought it's pretty all right.
Yep. The only thing I can't fully conceptualize is how it will play if you multi-class with it. But because it is an int class, it's very unlikely you will multi-class with it.
Yeah.
Because there are so few int scalars.
You can
It's
multi-class with
you
Wizard
and Wizard, yeah, and
Yeah.
I really doubt anyone's gonna do
or
that.
Artificer.
Yeah, I really doubt anyone's gonna do that.
Yeah, no.
This is
There's
how
not
they.
really a point to multi-classing with Wizard because you're gonna be a 1st to 9th level spellcaster anyways,
Yeah,
as either of them. So
this is
Okay,
how
but
they've de-incentivized it.
Hear me out, and this is not a good combination, but it's a disturbing combination. You do the Metamorph and then multi-class it with Artificer and the Frankenstein subclass from the Halloween stuff, and then it's just gore and viscera everywhere.
If you just want to have fun, you can go have fun, but it's not going to be good. It's
Oh
not-
yeah, no.
It's a-
I know this. I'm multi-class cleric and
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know how good I have fun at this.
My concern is just like, is there something I'm not seeing that's broken if you combine this with something else? Because there's so many rules, I can't possibly fathom every permutation of these.
I just want to gross out the other players at my table.
I suppose we'll find out.
The corpse explodes and my arm explodes.
I will
and
tell
my
you.
psychic-
I'll tell you how to gross out the other players is you just tell them about your minor foreknowledge and they'll be pretty disturbed.
Yeah.
See?